blanket folding, and why we do it. And let's begin. Good morning, Olivia. Cross your legs in the center of your shins. Take your feet beneath your knees, as best as you can get them beneath your knees. Take your shoulders over your hips so that you're not leaning forward, not leaning back. Rest your hands lightly on your thighs. Take your upper arms in line with your side ribs. Start with the simple noticing, not trying to want anything in particular, not seeking a destination, but beginning to observe your current experience, the physical experience. What does the body feel like? The emotional experience, what emotions are running through you. Welcoming the pleasant and unpleasant equally. What thoughts are running through. And then beginning to make the adjustments. And the important thing about the adjustments are not the adjustments themselves, but the effects of the adjustments, observing the effects. So find that even balance of your sit bones, bringing your awareness to your sit bones and adjusting so that you can have an even balance, half of your weight on the left sit bone, half of your weight on the right sit bone. Find a lengthening through the inner groins. So from the upper inner thighs, extend through the inner knees. And from the upper inner thighs, also extend back towards the lower abdomen. So it's like you're stretching an elastic band. So that whole space between the lower abdomen and the inner knees on both sides is lengthening. And it's not one big, I'm going to stretch it and then I'm going to stay there. It's slow and steady, more and more as time goes on. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs. So the inner thighs descend from the front of the leg towards the back of the leg. And draw from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. So the inner leg is lengthening, the outer leg is contracting, and the outer hips are compacting. And of course, pausing to notice how this affects, of course, the legs. But what else is affected? How does it affect the torso? How does it affect the breath? How does it affect the thoughts? Maintaining the experience of the legs and the hips, lengthen through the side ribs. Create more distance, more space between your hips and your armpits. Allow the chest to rise towards the ceiling. Lift the chest. The flesh of the front of the back moves up. I'm sorry, the flesh of the front of the body moves up. The flesh of the top of the back moves down. And begin to bring your shoulder blades in to lift the chest. So the shoulder blades move in from the back body. And as they push forward, they lift the chest on the front body. Do this without leaning forward or back, especially back. There's a tendency to lean back here. And maintaining that length in the side ribs, maintaining the lifted chest, lengthen from your armpits through your elbows. Allow your elbows to become heavy and draw towards the ground. But as the elbows draw down, the chest continues to rise up. And as the elbows descend, bring your palms together, touch your thumbs at your chest. Touch your palms evenly, left to right, right to left. And you can even use your thumbs touching the obviously through the clothing, but touching the flesh of your body and just gently lifting the flesh upward. Using your thumbs to move the flesh of your chest upward. Soften all of your facial features, let your shoulders release down, chest stays up as the shoulders release down. Draw your eyes back and down to gaze at the seat of your heart, the seat of your soul. And then again, taking a moment to observe, observing the experience of the body, the physical body, the emotional body, welcoming the pleasant and unpleasant equally. Observing the breath. And let's chant the syllable Om 3 times together. Exhaling completely. Deep inhalation. Om. 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 Keeping your sternum, your chest lifting, lower your chin towards your heart. But it's more about bringing your chest towards your chin than your chin towards your chest. Release your hands onto your thighs with your palms up. With your eyes closed, raise your head. In the back of your head, gently let your eyelids open. Straighten your legs. Take your hands by your hips. Either hands by your hips, or depending what kind of lift you might have, you can take your fingertips on the floor. Again, by your hips though. So if you have a wide enough surface, then you take your hands by your hips, and that's fine. And if you don't, then it's fingertips. And if you prefer to be on the ground, that's fine. That's your choice. Have your buttocks on the blanket, but your thighs off. So the blankets wind up right at the edge between the thighs and the buttocks. Take your feet together, heels together, toes point straight at the ceiling. Little toes move back towards you. Your hands can be bent, your elbows can be bent. Press your thigh bones down. Be careful not just to press the knees down. So again, buttocks on the lift, thighs off. Press the thigh bones down. Don't just press the knees down, it's the thigh bones. So bring your awareness up high in your leg and press those thigh bones down. And then lengthen from the upper inner thighs out through the knee, through the inner ankles, through the balls of the toes. From the upper inner thighs is also a drawing back. So again, it's that elastic band type feeling. And then the energy extends through the legs. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs, keep those toes together, and draw from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. So it should be the firm kneecap, not the floppy kneecap. If you want to go to move your kneecap, it shouldn't be the wiggly kneecap, because the outer quadricep muscle is very strong, drawing back. Compact those hips together. So again, the outer leg is contracting, the inner leg is extending. And pressing through your hands, lift through the side ribs, lift your chest towards the ceiling. Lower your shoulders though. Try not to lean back. Shoulders over the hips. Bring the shoulder blades in to lift the chest. Bring the shoulder blades in to lift the chest. So sometimes we use the description, I've been taught this a lot, imagine there's a rope on your chest and they're pulling that rope up to lift the chest. And that's fine, it's a fine way to start. And if that makes sense to you, do that. But you also want to eventually begin to unite the front and back bodies by bringing the shoulder blades in, lift the chest up. So you're pushing the chest up from underneath, not just lifting it up from above, without leaning back. And don't just do the chin work, right? Often we say, lift the chest, and you see a lot of this. Keep the chin parallel. If you're doing it, you're not alone, don't worry. Chin parallel to the floor and lift the chest. So again, the chest gets closer to the chin. We're not lowering the chin, but still the chest over time rises and rises and rises, becoming closer to the chin. Chin parallel to the floor, eyes parallel to the floor. And then separate your legs. Make sure your kneecaps are up and toes point up. So look at your legs. And for most of us, that means you have to turn the thighs in slightly so that the kneecaps point up and the toes point up. Make sure that your feet are on the same plane. So, one leg isn't forward of the other leg. And if your heel hurts, well, online you can't see, but if your heels hurt, you can do what Olivia did. She has blankets underneath her heels. So that's fine. Just want to make sure the blanket's at the same height. Press the thigh bones down. The more you can get the action of the so toes up, Rohan. The more you can get the action of the thigh, hands by your hips, everybody, hands by your hips. The more you can get action of the thighs pressing down, the more your side ribs lift up, the more your torso lifts up. If you let the thighs come up, your torso sinks. If you push your thighs down, your torso lifts up. We need to keep the torso lifted so there's room for the diaphragm, there's room in the lungs for the breath. Otherwise, we begin to collapse. And of course, it's helpful for the spine. Otherwise, the spine, it's all curved. And over time, that can get more and more. So press the thighs down. There's the lengthening of the inner leg from the inner thigh through the inner knee, through the inner ankle, pushing through the balls of the big toes. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs. Draw from your outer knees to your outer hips. Compact your hips together. So again, the inner leg extending, the outer leg contracting. We're used to doing all one or the other. Either we're going to contract everything or we're going to stretch everything. So that yoga is different. We're lengthening, opening the inner leg. We're contracting, compacting the outer leg. And pushing with the hands, lift up through the side ribs. Take your chest towards your chin, not your chin towards your chest towards your chin. Bring your shoulder blades in without leaning back. Bring your shoulder blades in to lift the chest higher. Take your hands on the inside of your knees, lift to come up. Take your feet together then. I'm going to adjust a little bit here. Bottoms of your feet together, Baddha Konasana. So wide legs are called Upavista Konasana, upright angle. Baddha Konasana, bound. Baddha's bound, Kona's angle, right? Your thigh and calf are bound together. You can take your hands by your hips again. If you're on the floor and want to wrap your hands around your feet, you can. But not if you're on a lift, it doesn't work because you're forced to lean forward, right? To see how you lean forward when you do that? Balance evenly on the sits bones. Press the heels together. Especially men, press those heels together, right? It's good for the prostate. Press the heels. Lengthen through the inner thighs. From the inner thighs, extend out through the inner knees. Don't just try and push your knees down, move them away from each other. The more they go away from each other, the more they will go down, but you have to get them away from each other. That's what creates the opening. Pushing them down does not create an opening. Extending them away from each other creates the opening and the freedom. From the upper inner thighs, also draw back towards the abdomen. So again, it's that whole area from the lower abdomen to the inner knee, lengthening. Draw from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. And then lift up through the side ribs. Lift the chest moves towards the chin. The shoulders down though, shoulders move down as the chest lifts up, right? So it's not shoulders down, chest down, or chest up, shoulders up. It's chest up, shoulders down. Can we begin to separate the actions of the chest and the shoulders? And then take those shoulder blades in to lift the chest. It's not just that you're lifting the chest from the front, although if there's not the connection between the shoulder blades and the chest, then imagine there's a string on your chest and lift it up. That's totally fine. It's totally fine. And if it makes sense, or certainly for those that have been practicing longer, have more body awareness, it takes time. Bring the shoulder blades in and lift the chest from the shoulder blades. So the back body moves forward to lift the front body. Soft face, soft jaw. Take your hands on the outside of your knees, push your legs together, hold behind one knee, draw the flesh towards the buttocks, straighten the leg. Other leg, draw the flesh towards the buttocks, straighten the leg. Back to Dandasana, thigh bones down, lengthen through the inner leg. Draw from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Pushing with the hands, lift through the side ribs. Don't lean back to do it. The shoulders down, chest up, and then bring your shoulder blades in to lift the chest. And release. Everybody lie back, have a strap nearby. So you don't need your strap right now. But have a strap nearby so you can reach it. Lie back. Take your feet together, heels together, toes straight up at the ceiling. Interlock your thumbs together and extend your arms overhead. So if you're back against the back wall, you need to move out enough so you can extend your arms overhead. So you're extending the whole body here. Feet together, heels together, toes point straight up at the ceiling, little toes move back towards you. Thumbs interlocked, extending overhead. Rohan, move the blankets. You don't need those blankets there now. So just get those out of the way. So you want to spread the feet and spread the fingers. Feet together if they go together. If they don't go together, that's fine. But if they go together, take them together. Press the thigh bones down. If your heels come up, it means you're pressing the knees down. When you press the thighs down, don't allow your toes to come out, to move away from each other. That means you're turning your thighs out, not just down. So I'm not saying turn the thighs out. I'm saying press them down. And again, you don't want your heels to come up. If your heels come up, you're pressing your knees down. Bring your awareness higher up in your legs and press the thigh bones down. Lengthen through the inner legs, from the inner thighs to the inner knees, to the inner ankles. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs and draw from the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact the hips together. It's like a circle of energy flowing around your legs. The inner leg extending. And then the energy comes around the foot. Draw from the outer knees to the outer hips. That circle of energy. 2 circles of energy, one around each leg. I guess it's more like an oval. Some of you, the feet are coming apart. So keep the feet together. Now maintain that awareness of the legs, those two circles of energy flowing around each of your legs, and extending now the other way through the side ribs. Create more distance between your hips and your armpits. And find an evenness on the two sides as you do so. And then extending armpit to elbow, elbow to wrist, right through the fingertips. And as you extend through those fingertips, draw from your outer elbows to your shoulder blades. So the inner leg extends, the inner arms extend, draw from your outer knees to outer hips, draw from your outer elbows to your shoulder blades. Creating more space through which your breath can flow. And release and relax. Arms up by your sides, palms up. Breathe into your shoulders, breathe into your hips. Breathe into your shoulders, breathe into your hips. And then everybody bend your legs. Both legs, take hold of your strap. Bend your right leg into your chest. Take the strap around your foot where the heel meets the arch. And straighten your leg. Soft grip on the strap, right? So just hold it with your thumb and first finger, or maybe your thumb and first two fingers, but don't hold and grip for dear life. Left leg is bent, right leg is straight up in the air. Heel over your hip. Reach up on the strap. So the elbows aren't bent, but actually reach higher so your arms are straightish. Just reach, not about walk your hands up the strap, Rohan. There you go, Rohan, good. So keeping the hip over your heel, heel over the hip, hopefully you figure that out. Keeping the heel over the hip, press the thigh bone back. Lengthen from the inner thigh, through the inner knee, through the inner ankle, push through the ball of the big toe. Broaden across the foot. Make your foot wider from the ball of the big toe to the ball of the little toe, and take the little toe down towards the floor. And then draw from your outer knee to your outer hip. So it's the same action of the leg, right? Press your right buttock on the floor and extend through the inner right leg more. Soften your shoulders, please. Switch legs. Left leg up, right leg bent. Press the thigh bone back. Keep the heel over the hip. Don't let the leg cross the midline. Your right knee points towards the ceiling, so don't let the right leg fall out. The left heel, the strap goes where the heel meets the arch today. Press the thigh bone back, and extend from the inner thigh, through the inner knee, through the inner ankle, push through the ball of the big toe. The toes themselves come back towards you, so the ball of the big toe is the peak of the pose. Broaden across the foot, more distance between the ball of the big toe and the ball of the little toe. Little toe moves back towards you. And draw from your outer knee to your outer hip. So again, that circle of energy flowing around the leg. Sit your left buttock down as you extend through the inner left leg more. Soften your shoulders. No death grips. Switch legs. Right leg up, left leg down. Press the thigh bone back, not the knee, the thigh. Press the thigh bone back, lengthen through the inner leg, push through the ball of the big toe, broaden across the foot, Draw from your outer knee to outer hip, that circle of energy. See that the foot does not move away from your face over time. Now, we don't just jam the knee back, but we do want to create space for the knee. So there are those strands behind the knee, and they do lengthen. But we don't lengthen them just by pushing the knee back. Take the top of the calf towards the heel. The part of the calf that's closest to the knee, take towards the heel. And the part of the hamstring that's closest to the knee, move that towards the buttock. So that you do begin to open those strands behind the knee, but gently, kindly. And again, don't do it just by pushing back. That creates a harshness, and we are looking for a kindness and for an opening. Especially for those that have difficulty straightening your legs at all. We need to create space there, but we need to create space in a kind, compassionate way to the body. The more you can open that area, the more your knee can begin to go back. And for those that are already very flexible in the knee, well, you can begin taking your foot closer to your face, but not by bending the leg. All right, anything you can begin to open too much. So now, Leanne, the thigh came towards you. So you still have to press the thigh bone back as you take the foot closer to your face. Yeah, there. Right, do you get the difference between those? Switch legs. Soft hands. Press the thigh bone back. Keep the buttock down. Do not let the left buttock come up under any circumstances. Keep that left buttock down. Right, this can help lower back pain, but if you begin to bring the buttock up, you're not going to have access to that area. So press the thigh bone back, lengthen through the inner leg, broaden across the foot, little toe moves back towards you. And by the way, notice how your legs are different. Are you having the same experience on this leg as the other leg? Probably not. Soften your hands. So lengthen through the inner leg, broaden across the foot, draw from the outer knee to the outer hip. Sit that left buttock down as you extend through the inner leg more. And now look for that opening in the back of the knee. So not just by pushing the knee back. You don't push the knee back to open the back of the knee. You open the back of the knee to allow the knee itself to move back. So moving the calf, top of the calf, the part of the calf that's closest to the back of the knee, move that towards the heel. And the part of the hamstring that's closest to the knee, move that towards your buttocks, creating length in those strands behind the knee. And this is especially for those that have tight hamstrings or those with difficulty straightening your legs. If you already have a really open knee, right, you can open things too much. If you have a really open eye of the knee, back of the knee, then begin to move your leg, your foot closer to your face, but the thigh still has to move back. Don't let the thigh, for those who have been practicing a while or have the openness, you want to resist with the thigh. As the foot goes closer to your face, you have to continue to move the thigh and hip back. Otherwise, you're not opening there. And for those that are still working on the knee, open the back of the knee. Now take both legs of the strap. Now heels are directly over the hips. Even if you have the flexibility, that's not what we're going for. Heels over the hips. Soft shoulders, soft jaw, soft hands. Feet are together. Press the thighs back. You can still open the backs of the knees here. Calf towards the heels, hamstring towards the buttocks. Open, lengthen. But this is really an abdominal pose. So eye and your abdomen towards the floor. Or really, it's towards the spine. So eye and your abdomen towards the spine. And eye and your lower back towards the floor. Eyeing your abdomen towards the spine. Eyeing your lower back towards the floor. And lengthen through your legs. Soft shoulders, soft hands, soft jaw, soft throat. Right? Can we begin to learn to separate the body so that parts of the body are working really hard, but the face is relaxed. Other parts of the body are relaxed. And bend your legs, roll to the right, come onto your hands and knees. Take your shoulders over your wrists. If you want a chair for downward facing dog, we're preparing for downward facing dog, so you're welcome to get a chair or blocks. Otherwise, shoulders over your wrists, knees slightly behind your hips. Press down through the balls of the first finger and thumb and rotate the upper arms out. These happen at the same time. When you rotate the upper arms out, there's a tendency to fall towards the outer hand. So you have to rotate the upper arms out, but then press down through the inner hand, through the balls of the first finger and thumb. Straighten the elbows. Straighten the elbows. That's it. Yep, straighten the elbows, Rohan. Turn your toes under, straighten your legs. Push into the floor, lengthen through those inner arms. Inhale and exhale, press your thighs back. Take your chest towards your thighs. Take your sit bones towards the ceiling. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Straighten the arms. Rohan, turn your hands out slightly. The other way. That's it. Now straighten the arms. Jyoti, take your feet further apart. Everybody, let your head go. Press your thighs back. Press your thighs back. So here, let's do this. Everyone bend your legs. Bend your legs and come up onto the balls of the toes. Just a little bit. Teeny little bend in the leg. Teeny bend in the leg. Come onto the balls of the toes. Take your hips high towards the ceiling. Push into your arms and move your hips higher. Move your sit bones higher. Now listen, before you do it, when you go to straighten your legs, it should feel as if your thighs move faster than your knees. It's not really happening, but I want it to feel as if your thighs move faster. Now, from that bent leg position, begin to straighten the legs. Press your thighs back faster than your knees. Take your outer heels down towards the floor as you lift your outer hips up. There's still, for those that have difficulty straightening the legs, top of the calf down, bottom of the hamstring up. Create that space in the back of the knee. Begin, let the head go. Begin to create that space. Now, everyone, look up, walk your feet forward. Yes, look up, walk your feet forward. And hold your elbows. Come into a forward bend. Uttanasana. Forward bend. Hold your elbows. Take your upper arms in line with your ears. Make sure your feet are forward. You can take your feet wide. If your legs aren't straight, please take your legs wider apart, but do make sure your toes point forward. Toes forward. So Rohan, toes forward. That's it. Turn your thighs and press your thighs back. Again, not just a jamming of the knees back, press the thighs back. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Lengthen from the inner knees all the way up, deep into the body. The more you can move your hips high towards the ceiling, the more your torso falls over your thighs. Then going back to downward facing dog, let your arms go, hands on the floor, walk your feet back, downward facing dog. And again, bend your legs slightly, lift your hips up, push into your hands to lengthen the arms. And then when you go to straighten your legs, press your thighs back, thighs moving faster than your hips until your legs are straight. Then the thighs, tops of the thighs, keep moving back and extend your outer heels down, lift your outer hips up. Rohan, turn your hands up. Turn your hands up. That's the one. Let your head go. Let your head go. Everybody, let your head go. Chest towards your thighs. Chest towards your thighs. Hips up, chest towards your thighs. That's it, Rohan. Now let your head go, Rohan. Drop your head. Your head dangles like a mango. Look up, walk your feet forward. Hold your elbows the opposite way you did the first time. Upper arms in line with your ears. Upper arms in line with your ears. If your legs aren't straight, take them wider apart. Totally fine. Rohan, take your elbows higher. That's your shoulders. Shoulders down. Take your elbows towards the front of the room. There, that's the one. Yep. Lift through the legs. Outer knees to outer hips, compact the hips. Lengthen through the inner legs. Flesh of the inner thighs move back. Push your hips towards the ceiling. Let your torso fall over your thighs. Let your skull release. Let your head become heavy. As your arms go, sweep your arms back. Take your torso parallel to the floor, hands slightly above your hips. Extend your thighs, extend your arms back. Press your thighs back. Extend your chest forward. And then slowly inhale, come up. Keep those actions as you inhale up. Keep those actions. Take your feet together. Tadasana. Balance evenly on the 2 feet. So either feet together, if you prefer your feet hip distance apart, that's fine. Feet under the hip sockets is fine. Otherwise, feet together, your choice. If it's difficult to balance with feet together, then take them further apart. Balance evenly on the feet. Press the thigh bones back. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact the hips together. Lengthen from the inner knees all the way up through the lower abdomen. Lengthen through the side ribs. Chest, lifting, right? So there's the idea that there's a rope on your chest. That's fine. That rope pulling your chest up. And bring those shoulder blades into the body to lift the chest from the back body. And for those who've been with me for a while, if you're new to this one, you don't have to worry about this one so much. But for those that have been with me, don't forget those bottom ribs have to move back as the shoulder blades move in. And then shoulders down, extend through the arms. Please have space in your armpits. Straighten the elbows. Soft jaw, soft face. Arms out to the sides, drop the shoulders, rotate the arms up. Did you notice your front ribs go forward when you did that? Take your front ribs back. From your armpits, push your arms up. Shoulders go down as the arms go up. Push into the feet, extend through the arms. Take your triceps, that's the outer upper arm. Take your triceps towards your nose. Triceps towards your nose. That's it. Not so much, Rohan. But the triceps move towards your nose. You want your palms to face each other so you can look up. Go, are my palms facing each other? And once they are, then you look forward again. The triceps towards your nose. And they change over time. So look up again. Are they still facing each other? Adjust, and then look forward again. Shoulders down as the arms go up. Space in your neck, Bob. Turn your hands out to the sides. Exhale, come down. Interlace your fingers together. Turn your palms out. Press the thighs back. Inhale, take the arms up. Press your wrists towards the ceiling. Take your shoulders down. Push through your feet. Extend your wrists up. So the whole body is involved in this. We'll work in the next shoulders, but it's the whole body. By the way, the shoulder blades still come in to lift the chest. Release your arms out to the sides. Come down. Interlace your fingers together the opposite way. Turn your palms up. Push the webbings of your fingers together. Inhale, come up. Push through the feet. Wrists up, shoulders down. Hug your upper arms into your ears. Hug your upper arms into your ears so much that you can't hear me anymore. My voice gets annoying after a while. I don't think I know that. I listen to me all day long. So hug those upper arms into your ears. Wrists up, shoulders down. And then release your hands up to the sides. Come down. Turn your mats 90 degrees. Line your mat up with the board line. And at home, you can either turn your mats or turn your bodies, whatever you need to do for the space that you are in. And don't forget, in 2 weeks, Monday, 2 Mondays from is it 2 Mondays from yesterday? The 15th. Is it the 5th? I don't even remember. Well, like 2 weeks. Everybody come back to the studio. Full class schedule. It's starting. It's happening. Tadasana, feet together. thighs back. And then you have plenty of room to turn your mats. Lift the chest, shoulders down, space in your armpits, please. We'll teach you Trichenasana, triangle pose. I told you we'd get it back, Bob. Fingertips up, bend your legs, jumper step. Take a wide stance so the feet are below your hands as your arms are extended. So notice how far apart your hands are. And take your feet below your hands. So it's a wide stance, wider than you think. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Make sure your front heel is in line with your back arch and that your right toes are pointing straight forward. Press into the outer rim of the back heel. Make sure the back toes point in, Jyoti. That's it. Press into the outer rim of the back heel. Turn the front thigh from the inside out. So the knee is in line with the top of the foot. And lift your outer knees from your outer knees to your outer hips, right? We've been doing that all morning, right? So that action of lifting up. Watch your shoulders, George. Drop your shoulders. There you go. Keep pressing into the back heel. Inhale, exhale, take your right hand down and take your left arm up. You can just look straight ahead. That's fine. Press into the back heel. Turn that front thigh out. Lift from your outer knees to outer hips. Straight leg, front leg straight, back leg straight. That arm goes straight up, Jyoti, and palm faces the front wall. So as you lift from your outer knees to outer hips, begin to rotate that torso. So right ribs forward, left ribs back. Imagine there's a wall behind you and you're leaning on that wall behind you. And then extend those arms away from each other. And then reach for that top arm, pull yourself up and out, parallel your feet. Other side, right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press into the outer rim of the back heel. Make sure the back toes point in, Rohan. That's it. Press into the outer rim of the back heel. George, make sure the toes point forward. Turn the front thigh from the inside out. Lift from your outer knees to outer hips. And pack those hips together. Now keep pressing the back heel. Inhale, exhale, come down. Press into the outer rim of the back heel. Watch the back knee, Leanne. Keep the work in the thigh. Turn the front thigh out so your knee is in line with the top of the foot. Lift from your outer knees to outer hips. Compact the hips together. Now rotate the torso. Rotate. Left ribs forward, right ribs back. And extend those arms away from each other, right? So the arms are helping open the front body. The arms are helping open the back body. And then reach for that top arm, pull yourself up and out, parallel your feet, and jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Feet together. And one more time, fingertips up, bend your legs, jump or step. Drop the shoulders, extend through the arms. Left foot in, right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press the back heel. Turn that front thigh out. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips. Inhale, exhale, come down. Now everyone take the top hand onto your hip for a moment. Top hand onto your hip. Press through the outer rim of your back heel. In order to really get to the outer rim of the back heel, you have to take the back thigh back. Not just the back knee, but take that back thigh back. Don't let your torso come forward when you take the thigh back. So the back thigh goes back from the hip, now press into the outer rim of the back heel. Turn the front thigh from the inside out. Open the front hip. And lift from the front outer knee to the outer hip. Really lift that outer knee to the outer hip. And as you lift the front outer knee to the outer hip, take the right buttock forward. So the right buttock comes forward, the left thigh goes back. As the right buttock comes forward, take your right ribs forward. As the left thigh goes back, take the left ribs back. And really imagine there's a wall behind you and lean on that wall behind you. Lean back. That's it, Jyoti. Lean back. The back of the head is on the wall. Both shoulder blades are on the wall. Your buttocks is on the wall. The back heel is on the wall. Everything in that line. And then finish the form of the pose by extending your top arm up. Palm faces forward with that top arm. And now study. Observe. Somewhere along the line, I should have said no toe gripping. Slide up your imaginary wall. Slide up and out. Parallel your feet. Take your hands on your hips. Take a breath for a moment. And then other side. Extend the arms up. Right foot and left leg out. Front heel, and look down. Look at your feet. Is my front heel in line with my back arch? If not, adjust. You should be able to take a pen or a piece of chalk. I do a lot more chalk these days. I have a 6-year-old, so a lot of chalk involved. You should be able to take a piece of chalk and draw that line. Press the outer rim of your back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift from your outer knees to outer hips. Inhale, exhale, come down. Then take that top hand onto your hip. So again, press that outer rim of the back heel. In order to do that, top hand on your hip, just so your arm doesn't get so tired. Take the back thigh back without bringing the torso forward. Take the back thigh back. And from the hip, press into the outer rim of the back heel. Again, Leanne, watch that back knee. Right? If you press your knee back in this pose, the back knee, you can get to the back heel, but don't do that. It has to come from the thigh, because over time you can just keep going more and more into the knee. I want you to get the thigh back, and then from the hip, press into the outer rim of the heel. That can protect your knee. Turn the front thigh out so the knee is in line with the top of your foot, and lift your front outer knee to outer hip. And as you lift your outer knee to outer hip, front leg, take that buttock now forward towards the front wall. So the right thigh, the back thigh goes back. The front buttock comes forward. As the buttock comes forward, take the ribs with it. As the thigh goes back, take those ribs, the top ribs back, right? So you're actually using the legs to help turn the torso. And now lean on that imaginary wall behind you. The head too, the shoulder blades, all back. Lean on that imaginary wall so that the whole chest is open. To be clear, the back is open too. But lean back. And then finishing the form of the pose, extend the arm up, palm faces forward. And then to finish the pose itself, observe. And then pull yourself up and out, parallel your feet, and jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior pose 2. Fingertips up, bend your legs, jump or step your feet apart. It's the wide stance. Feet below your hands as your arms are extended. Drop your shoulders. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Take your front heel in line with your back arch again.
Is this a wider pose than Trichenasana?
No. But it's harder to cheat in this one. So if you had a shorter stance in Trichenasana, you need to take a wider stance here, but they're actually the same distance. Front heel in line with back arch, press your back heel, turn your front thigh out, lift your outer knees to outer hips. Because this is important, because when we bend the leg, you want the thigh parallel to the floor and the knee over the ankle. So it really gives you an understanding for where your legs need to be, whereas Trichenasana doesn't do that. Inhale, exhale, bend your front leg. So do not let your knee go past your ankle. That's really what she was talking about in terms of it being a wider stance. Your knee has to be over your ankle with your thigh bone parallel to the floor. So for many of us, that means we need to take our legs wider. If you can't get your thigh parallel to the floor, if it's your first time here, any of that kind of stuff, okay, be kind to yourself, but you have to know where you're going. The thing is, this one actually puts more pressure on the knee than this one. This one's harder to hold. You need your abdomen, you need your body. But this is where the pressure is on the knee is because everything's drawing that way. That's why you have the right angle to take the pressure off of your knee. But, be kind to yourself and whatever you can is accessible today. The weight is on the front heel, not the balls of the toes. Press into the back heel, lift the chest, arms are extending. You don't take your arms down when I take my arms down. Bend the leg more, bend the leg a little bit more. And then gaze over your front fingertips. So Olivia, leave your legs where they are. Take your whole torso towards your back arm. Torso. That, yeah. And straighten your leg. Parallel your feet. Drop the shoulders. Keep the arms lifted. Other side, right foot in, left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press that back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips. Inhale, exhale, bend the leg. Again, it's a 90-degree angle here. So some of you will notice, oh, the only way I can get the 90-degree angle is to make my legs wider. In which case, do so. That's okay. But sit into it. Give yourself a shot. Press into the outer rim of the back heel. Lift the chest and drop the shoulders. Extend the arms, gaze over the front fingertips. Imagine you have eyes in the back of your head. Look through those eyes. Reach through the back arm, straighten the leg, parallel the feet, jump or step your feet together. So we're going to do some work on the legs, but I also want to work on this because this is what tends to happen in this pose. The head wants to go where the body's going. So we're bending the leg, and I see my arm there, and I want to get there. And some of us are taking our torso there. I can get there faster. And some of us are here, but you can see it in the face, like, I'm getting over there. The goal isn't to get there. The goal is to get here, okay? So I want your spine should be perpendicular to the floor the whole time, right? It's as if the torso is not even moving. It's moving in space just because my legs are moving. I'm not doing anything with my torso here. In my head, my awareness, I want to be here, not there. Make sense? All right. Fingertips up, bend your legs, jump or step your feet apart. And then take your hands on your hips for now. And get the arms out of it at the beginning. It's a wide stance. Left foot in, right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press the back heel. So again, just like we did in triangle pose, this back thigh goes back, press the heel. Front thigh turns out, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Now, keep your torso perpendicular to the floor. Don't let your torso move. Inhale, exhale, bend the leg to a 90-degree angle. Knee over the ankle, thigh parallel to the floor. Now, there's a tendency for the back thigh to fall forward, so you have to take the back thigh back. There's a tendency for the front buttock to go back. Take the front buttock forward, back thigh back, just like triangle pose, right? Same exact thing. Torso perpendicular to the floor. So elbow back, lift the chest, shoulder blades in to lift the chest, right? Remember that? Keep pressing into the back heel. Now extend the arms. Now, when you gaze over the front fingertips, remember, you're not trying to get there. You're trying to get here. Oh, faces are so much softer. Beautiful. Right? This is Virabhadrasana 2, warrior pose 2, but the warrior is to conquer the monkey mind. Drop the shoulders, Olivia. Is to conquer the monkey mind, not anything outside of you. Inside of you. That's the warrior. Reach through your back arm, straighten your leg, parallel your feet, hands on your hips. Right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Take the back thigh back, press the back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Keep your spine perpendicular to the floor. Your torso just floats. Inhale, exhale, bend the leg. Torso just floating. The back thigh goes back. Press the back heel. The front buttock comes forward. So back thigh back, front buttock forward. Some of you feel this nice opening in your pelvic area. That's great. Lift the chest, elbows back, lift the chest. Bring your shoulder blades in to lift the chest. Watch the ribs pop. And keep the shoulders down, extend the arms. And when you turn your head, remember your goal is to be here, not there. Turn your head over your front fingertips. But can you look softly? Bend the leg, Rohan. Can you look softly, imagining their eyes from the back of your head, not hardening the front of the eyes, but soft eyes. And now observing your pose. Reach through your back arm, straighten your front leg, parallel your feet, jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Everybody get a couple blocks, put them to the rear of your mat. You're going to use a chair, George. So put the blocks to the back of your mat, just like Leanne has them there. And then you're going to stand on your mat in front of your blocks because you're going to separate your feet. I don't want you to trip when you separate your feet. Utthita Parva Konasana, extended side angle pose. Fingertips up, bend your legs, jump or step your feet apart. It's the wide stance again. Because the legs are in Virabhadrasana 2, right? The legs will be the same as Virabhadrasana 2. We'll take the torso down and extend the arm. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Now I'm going to take you out of the pose for a moment. Take this block right next to your heel and then come back up. Press the outer rim of your back heel, turn the front thigh out, lift your outer knees to outer hips. Same actions. Inhale, exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, so we bend the front leg. Inhale, exhale. Now take the hand on the block, extend your top arm up. Rotate the arm so the palm faces your ear. Reach up, and now press the back heel and extend your arm over your ear. Extending that whole left side of the body. So your palm is facing down now. Rohan, see if you can take that arm a little further. That's it. So you're really extending that side of the body. If it's too much, come onto your fingertips, Rohan. There you go. That's it. Fingers straight, palms down. That's it. Then reach for that arm and pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet, other side, right foot in, left leg out. So again, I'm going to take you out, take that block next to your heel, come back up. Press the outer rim of your back heel. Back toes point in. Turn the front thigh out, lift from the outer knees to the outer hips. Inhale, exhale, bend the leg, 90-degree angle, so Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, exhale, hand down, right arm up. Rotate the arm so your palm faces your ear. Inhale, extend over your ear. That whole right side of the body extending. Press the back heel, rotate the torso. Eyes straight at this wall. If you're looking up, if you know how to do that, that's fine. Otherwise, but if it's up, it's towards the armpit. But otherwise, just look at this wall. Rohan, turn the arm so the palm faces down. That's it. And now extend. Fingers together. Fingers together. That's the one. And then reaching through your arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet and jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Yes, we're doing it again. Just watch those blocks so that you don't trip into them. Fingertips up, then your legs, jump or step your feet apart. Wide stance, drop your shoulders. Left foot and right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Take that block and put it next to your heel. Inhale, exhale, bend the leg. Inhale, exhale, hand on the block. And now take that top hand and put it onto your hip. So it's the same work we've been doing. Don't just take the back knee back, but take the back thigh back and press into the heel. Notice when the thigh goes back, the ribs go with it. Now, the other thing that happens is the knees go with it. The knee goes front, knee goes forward. So take the front knee back and the front buttock forward. So take that front knee and squeeze it into your elbow and take the buttock forward. So back thigh back, front buttock forward, and front knee back. As the front buttock goes forward, take the ribs forward. As the back thigh goes back, take the ribs back and lean back on your imaginary wall. And then take the arm up, rotate it, extend over your ear. That finishes the form of the pose. Now finish the pose by studying svadhyaya, self-study. Remember, your mission is to go here, not there, wherever you think there might be. Now pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Other side. Right foot and left leg out. Last standing pose, unless I change my mind. Press the back heel. Oh, block. Just take that block, put it next to your heel, come back up. Now, and make sure your front heel is in line with your back arch. Always double check that. Press the back heel, turn the front thigh, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Inhale, exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, exhale, hand on the block, then take that top hand onto your hip. So the back thigh moves back thigh back, press the back heel. When the back thigh moves back, the ribs go with it, right? The torso begins to turn. Now be careful because the front knee also goes with it. So take the front knee, glue that into your elbow, and take the front buttock forward. So back thigh back, front knee back, front buttock forward. And as the back thigh goes back, take the ribs with it. As the front buttock comes forward, take the ribs with it. So there's a rotation of the torso. Now lean back on your wall. Your head too. Head back, Jyoti. Head back. And then finish the pose. Extend your arm up. Rotate it. Reach, extend over the ear. Palm faces down, Rohan. That's it. Extend through that hole. From the back heel, extend all the way through the right side of your body. And from the right fingertips, extend all the way through the side of your body, through your back heel. And now study. Finish the pose. And pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Take the blocks off of your mats, put them to the side, turn your mats the way we started class, come towards the front of your mat. So at home, just come towards the front of your mat. Take your feet hip distance apart. Feet hip distance apart, front of your mat, extend your arms forward, arms up. We are doing downward facing dog, so if you need a chair, get that ready for you. Or if you need to go to the stairs, go to the stairs. Hold your elbows. Inhale, come up. Inhale, exhale, come forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Our last one of today. Don't let your arms drop past your ears, right? That's it, on. Toes forward. Everyone, toes forward. Toes forward, toes forward, toes forward. Soft jaw. Let the skull release. Begin to notice the difference between this now and this whenever we did it first, about 45 minutes ago or so, an hour ago. Let your arms go, hands on the floor. You can bend your knees if you have to. Walk your feet back, downward facing dog pose. Feet at least hip distance apart. Leanne, walk your feet back. Hips up high, thighs back, chest towards your thighs. That's it, Jyoti. Keep taking your chest towards your thighs, Jyoti. And again, noticing how this feels different now than it did 45 minutes ago, an hour ago. Press the thighs back, press your outer heels down, lift your outer hips up. And then everyone, bend your legs, touch your knees to the floor, precisely the same moment. Take your feet together, take your knees apart, extend your arms forward, and rest your head. The head can either rest on the floor, but if that floor is far, take one of your blocks again and rest your forehead onto the block. Let your skull release. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders, push to come up. Take a blanket underneath your head and lie back on your mat. So for most of us, a flat blanket this size works best. Some of us with neck issues will need to fold it in half. So you have to do what you need to do. So this size, I would try, if you haven't done it, if you know what you need, do it. And it's different on different days too. But if you're not sure, then I would take this flat one. And if that doesn't feel right, then fold that up. Just lie back and bend your legs into your chest. Bend your legs into your chest. Give yourself a hug here. Draw your thighs towards your torso. Take your sit bones, your hips away from your waist. Say something kind to yourself here. Hug yourself like you really mean it. And then say something kind to yourself. Now take your hands on the face of your knees. Inhale, let your thighs move away from your torso. On your exhale, draw them back into your torso. So just a few breaths here. Inhaling, thighs moving away. Exhaling, thighs move towards you. Massaging the abdomen, massaging the lower back. On your next inhalation, let your feet come to the floor. Straighten your legs one at a time. Let your legs fall apart. Take your arms at about 30-degree angles to your body. Of course, you have to find what works for you. Traditionally, palms are up, but you have to find what works for you. Maybe it's more comfortable to have your hands on the outer edge of your hand. Maybe it's more comfortable to have your palms down. You have to find what works for you here. If you have any irritation in your lower back, if you're here, let me know and I'll come and help you. If you're at home, then you take a bolster or a pillow or blankets underneath your knees, and that can help. Let go. Let your arms, your legs flow away from your torso as if they are releasing, relaxing, letting go. Let the torso surrender to the Mother Earth below you. Release, relax all of your facial features, nose towards the ceiling. Soften your forehead. Soften your eyebrows. Soften your eyelids. Soften your temples. Soften your cheekbones. Soften your cheeks. Soften your nose. Soften your lips. Soften your jaw. Soften your tongue. Soften your throat. Let your eyes rest into your cheekbones to gaze at your heart. And become a witness for your breath. You don't need to breathe, the breath will breathe you. Can you take a step back in your mind's eye and become a witness for the breath as the breath breathes you? Begin slowly coming out. Take a soft, smooth, peaceful inhalation and a longer, smooth, peaceful exhalation. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your nose. Bend your legs, place your feet on the floor with your knees together, feet apart, knees together, feet apart. Slowly and with awareness, take your hands onto your abdomen or onto your chest. We all hold incredible healing energy in our hands. Allow the healing energy of your hands to penetrate your body, to pierce through your layers, and to heal whatever it is you may need healing with today. Healing can be physical, healing can be emotional, it can be both. When you feel ready, extend your right arm past your right ear, roll to the right side. If you want to go to the left side, that's fine. Just switch arms. So be on your side for a moment. Yep, you just extend your arm, Rohan, and then rest your ear into your arm. That's it. And then when you feel ready, take the top hand, place it on the floor in front of your heart. Turn your torso towards the floor first. Then use your top hand and your bottom elbow, push to come up. Come up chest first, head last. And come up to sitting. And you can sit up on a lift, blankets or block, palms together. Cross your legs the opposite way you did beginning of class, palms together, thumbs at your chest. Again, using the thumbs to move the flesh of your chest upward, shoulders down. Draw your eyes back and down as you turn the corners of your lips up, taking a moment to observe your practice. What's different? What's changed? Remember to take your practice outside of this room, into the rest of your day, into all of your interactions with other people, with kindness and with compassion. Kindness and compassion for others, and most importantly, kindness and compassion for yourself. Let's close our practice together by chanting one collective Om. Deep inhalation. Om. Gently let your eyes open. Big smile. Namaste. Bow to the divine within you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody here. Thank you, everybody at home. 2 weeks, we open on the Monday, not the Tuesday. Fully. Please come back to the studio. If you have questions, let me know.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank